I don't want the money. I want to bludgeon Andy Worski and get away with it. I'm being told that all I have to do is show up on a certain day at a certain time, and I'm going to be locked inside of a cage with somebody who has a horrible ass whipping coming, and I get to do whatever I want to this man without legal consequence. It's going to be great. I don't want the money. I want to cause lots and lots of bodily harm to somebody who has it coming. I'm beating the fuck out of this piece of shit. Going to do my damnedest to end him right there in the fucking cage, and if the ref doesn't stop me, then guess what the fuck's gonna happen? And then I'm leaving. That's the whole day.
Internet tough guy. A person who, lacking the ability to banter, resorts to demanding people they argue with online come and fight them in real life. Tonka saw an internet tough guy.
There's a term that's existed on the internet since, well, the internet itself has existed. It describes a certain personality type, a character most people would encounter on the forums that they might frequent or image boards they might visit. It's a special kind of individual. Somebody who's easily quick to anger, who lacks the ability to banter or joke with other people. When forced into a corner or a situation in which they cannot win, they will inevitably fall back upon the position of wanting to kick your ass in real life.
I have a ring. That's the thing I'm trying to say. I have a ring.
Rough week. This is a lot of fun for me. It like releases steam. It's awesome.
Oh, I hope it does. I have a ring, and I have the money to put up. If you two, if you're interested in going against Story, but I saw that you kind of pussed out on the whole weight class thing. But luckily, I'm in your weight class.
Weight class? No, I would.
No, I'm in. No, shut up. I'm in your fucking weight class, kid. Kid. Hey, kid, I'm in your weight class. So lucky you, I'm in your weight class, and I'm trained. Yeah. So I think this is a great opportunity for you to shut your fucking dick licker.
That's why you're showing your face on camera, you fucking puny faggot.
Guilt, you fucking pussy.
You're not trying to
fake
either.
Piece of shit. You fucking stolen valor, little faggot.
Stolen valor.
What do you think that is? What do you think your entire life is? Pretending to be something you can never fucking be. Being some kind of goddamn fake who goes from place to place. Pretending that you fucking matter. You can't draw flies to fucking shit, you idiot.
You're so mad, dude.
I'm not mad.
Funny.
I'm ready. There's a big difference. I'm not mad. I'm ready because I'm not a fake like you. I'm not a fake fucking pussy like you are, babe.
You're on your own.
There's a big difference between mad and ready. I am ready, babe.
On my own show.
Unlike you, I am ready when somebody wants to bring something up because I'm not a fucking fake. You're a fucking fake, pussy lips.
No.
You triggered, my dude? You sound pretty triggered.
Oh, I'm triggered as fuck. I would fuck your face up so bad.
Oh, shit, I'm sure you would, my dude. You sound so mad right now. Oh, God, you sound so mad, dude.
Oh, I'm mad. I would fuck.
Oh, you sound so triggered right now. I'm such an internet tough guy. I'm so mad. If I found you in real life, I would fuck the shit out. I would beat you up so hard. I would punch you in the fucking face.
Now, this video doesn't exist to give you a deep lore exploration of who Tonka Saw is. I leave that in others' hands. Nor is it a documentary focusing on the fight itself. No, this video hopes to highlight what an internet tough guy actually is, what their behavior will always lead to, and why they should be mocked and ridiculed anytime they're encountered on the internet. Our story begins with the internet personality Tonka Saw. Good old Donga, leader of the trailer park tribe, spends his days hunting superberries. He's not afraid of anyone. He is a man's man, and don't you ever fucking step up to a man.
You fake fucking bitch!
That is some weak bullshit.
Don't you ever step up to a fucking man!
That behavior has existed within him, on the internet, for at least 7 or 8 years. Every single person he would encounter who would eventually throw up a roadblock to his bullshit would sooner or later receive a challenge to fight him in real life. But as with most internet tough guys, nobody really gave him much attention. They just saw it as complete bullshit and moved on. That is until a little cokehead by the name of Andy Worski said enough is enough.
I will go to the States. I will go to the ring you want me to go to. I will go see the doctor that has to check me to see if I'm in fighting condition. I will do all your... I agree. Mid-January, I agree to everything that you have said.
Now, to understand the reasons that Andy decided to take Tonka up on his challenge, I need to give you a little bit of background information. Andy Worski was a fairly moderate-sized channel, focusing mostly on anti-SJW videos. That all ended up changing for him on the heel of the Kraut and Tea implosion. With new eyes on his channel, Andy decided to branch out, and he branched out by changing his format. Rather than doing the typical 10 to 20 minute long videos dunking on those blue-haired feminists, Andy decided to host live stream debates featuring people from the alt-right and the left. In fact, one of the earliest streams that he hosted on his channel, a debate between Richard Spencer and Sargon of Akkad, ended up trending #1 on YouTube live streams. Andy would end up building on the momentum of this by partnering with J.F. Gherpe, who would soon become his co-host on the channel. Soon Andy found himself with a steady audience of 3,000 to 4,000 people, with thousands of dollars rolling in for each and every episode that he hosted during the weeknights. It seemed that all was going great for Andy. That is, until Tonka inserted himself. And the first signs of this were when Andy decided to end his partnership with JF.
Alright, well, I think that it is the end between us two, and I'm sorry about it, but this is this is the way I speak on YouTube, and there's no reason for me to lower the standard for you, and I've never sacrificed my intellectual integrity.
Fair enough.
So it's gonna be the end, and it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like...
Now, while on the surface it may seem that JF and Andy had issues with one another, and they did, behind the scenes there was more going on than what was presented to the audience that evening.
Oh my god, you're okay, look, you, in the morning, didn't say anything about it being a bad idea. In fact, you were enthused and made it as vulgar and aggressive as possible.
I'm backing you up.
No,
I'm keeping... God damn.
So, but you thought it was a bad idea later. So why didn't you tell me it was a bad idea and then tell an audience later that it was a bad idea?
Because I told you it was a bad idea for a fucking month.
No, you fucking didn't. You did not say.
Really?
You were like, well, if you're going to fire him, fair enough.
Really?
Here's how you do it. Yeah, you did not. When the fuck did you tell him to not do it? Geek was there. Failure was there. Don't fucking lie.
Tonka, along with the other co-host of The Morning Kumite, Failure, had given Andy the advice that he needed to dump JF, that JF was disrespecting him, and that it was a smart decision for Andy business-wise and creatively moving forward. And how did that decision work out? I'll let you be the judge.
No, bitch. Go put your dilation on, bitch.
The dilation is my bitch. Don't steal that shit from me.
Get rid of some of that hair. Get rid of some of that hair.
Everyone was quiet and they wouldn't be screaming.
Yeah.
From the height of popularity to a great deep fall, Andy's channel plummeted. Once he was pulling in 4,000 to 5,000 people a stream and making a ton of money. Suddenly the views began to diminish, guests stopped showing up, and he found himself having nearly a nervous breakdown. But even with the animosity behind the scenes, even with Andy being somewhat resentful towards Tonka for leading him astray, there still wasn't a direct confrontation between the two. That was until the pedophile accusations hit him. In October of last year, Snapchats were released which purported to show Andy Worski engaging in sexual conversations with an underage girl.
You can sit on my lap. I'm already hard. I don't know what he's referring to there. She says, me in my school uniform and just walking down the street. He says, oh my fucking god, I stopped by your school to be a volunteer or something. Go by as your cousin. Fuck you in the broom closet quick. Or like, pick you up in the parking lot. The guys who like you go, who's that guy? And as we drive away, you lower your head to my cock.
You know, I love how there are all these messages that this video is sending. You know, messages like, be careful who you pass judgment on. You know, the old judge not, lest you be judged. There's also messages about jumping the gun. And, you know, there's all these things within this video that all focus around values and morals. It's fucking enlightening, isn't it?
Upon seeing this information released, Tğᴇ decided to immediately begin tweeting out about it, taking shots at Andy and saying that it was just a joke, that he was goofing around and that he didn't really mean it. However, in private DM conversations, it was another story. He believed that Andy was guilty of what was being shown in these screen caps and this video that had been put up on the internet. And he was looking forward to Andy being boxed into a corner and having his life utterly destroyed. It would later come out that these screenshots and the people involved with this particular Snapchat conversation were pulling a gay op. The images were faked. The video was faked. The girl involved is not underage. It was set up to bait Andy Worski in a plot for revenge. But Tonka didn't care. He didn't wait for the evidence to be looked at. He didn't wait for any conclusions to be drawn. He saw a cudgel with which to beat Andy Worski, to try to destroy everything that he had built, to snap that tenuous grasp that he still had on reality, and push him completely over the edge. Tonka had gone from giving Andy simple misinformation when it came to his breakup of the partnership with JF, to actively seeking to destroy his life in a way that would be almost impossible to recover from. Tonka was more than aware of who was involved in the release of this information, that one of the key individuals was highly unreliable and had a motive for wanting revenge against Andy Worski. Tonka had the facts surrounding the Snapchat fiasco. He did not care.
No. See, this is where you're wrong. There's always a way to kill a fan base. You make people ashamed.
His indifference and slight apathy or anger towards Andy had blossomed into a full-on hatred of him. And that is what leads us up to the confrontation. Now, internet tough guys, they don't actually fight. They like to run their mouth. They like to throw the challenge out. They like to tell you how tough they are, how physically fit they are, how badly they'll beat you. But they never follow through on it, because they have no intention of doing so. But in a shockingly rare occurrence, an internet tough guy actually had to put his ass on the line. And that is thanks to Tara LaRosa. Now, Tara, a sometimes guest on the Morning Kumite, had heard that Tonka and Andy were having an argument. Tonka had said that he could set up a fight, that he could arrange the details of it, but he was running into some difficulties. And out of nowhere, Tara said, she'll have it set up in 5 minutes. And she wasn't kidding. Tara contacted Tim Loy of Valor Fighting Challenge, and within 24 hours, a date had been set in stone. On January the 19th of 2019, Andy Worski and Tğᴇ would meet each other inside the cage in Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, what do you suppose happens when you take an internet tough guy, somebody who has no intention of actually fighting anybody in real life, and put them into a situation where they're going to have to fight somebody in real life? If you guessed they will do everything and anything they can to make that not happen, you would be correct. Tonka tried everything within his power to delay, while Andy spent months and months of training, adjusting his diet, going to the gym, learning mixed martial arts and how to fight within the arena. Tonka spent his time trying to throw any wrench he could into the gears, trying to slow it down, while on his show he would talk massive amounts of shit, saying how he was going to badly hurt Andy Worski, how Andy Worski was going to get fucked up real hard. But behind the scenes, things were a little bit different. And come January 19th, only one man would be standing in the arena. Well, maybe standing is the wrong way to put it.
To elaborate on what Shamir had been saying, Andy Worski is making his way to the cage. His opponent, Tğᴇ, did not show up. Apparently 2 internet personalities making a name in the show.
Well, he does have a belt, though. I wonder what it's for.
Making the most of the experience with the no-show, Andy Worski here.
So how did this end up happening? I mean, where is our internet tough guy, Tonka, the MMA champion? Well, Valor Fighting Challenge put out a message to people that were coming to the pay-per-view event that Tonka was supposed to fight Andy Worski at, explaining exactly what happened and why he was not present. Due to the unique nature of this bout, we at VFC required that both of the potential athletes sign a contract, state a few particulars, such as state commission, timetables for blood work, etc. Amateur fighters in the state of Tennessee must submit blood tests that prove they are free from hepatitis B, C, and HIV. This Mr. Worski did within the required time allotment. However, when Mr. Tğᴇ sent in his required blood work, It came with a different name and a different photo ID than the one he signed the contract under. We informed him that, unfortunately, the two names must match up, otherwise we could be responsible to any number of potential liabilities. No, you didn't mishear that. Tağᴇ refused to sign the contracts asked of him, and sent in multiple names under the contract and the blood work. They even follow up on this in a later paragraph. Mr. Tağᴇ sent in someone else's blood work and ID. He did not make it to Tennessee. He was not here to check his weight. He has not undertaken a physical as per the UMMAF requirements. He did not agree to be held liable should one of his fans or himself be the proximal cause of distress for VFC or the Civic Coliseum. Andy spent months training his ass off and changing his lifestyle just so he could put on a good show. Just so he could show up there and defend himself against somebody who had been trying to ruin his life. And the man, the internet tough guy, Tağᴇ, the shit talker extraordinaire, lied about his name, signed a contract fraudulently, sent in somebody else's blood work, wouldn't fulfill his contractual obligations, didn't show up for the weigh-in, in fact, didn't show up at all, even though the people within his community repeatedly said he was gonna fucking be in Knoxville. But what else would you expect from a giant pussy, a habitual liar?
No wonder you're 90-0, because you don't let people talk. You just keep shouting and shouting until they're like, fuck this thing, and they hang up. 90-0? 90-0? Motherfucker, shut the fuck up, because you just keep talking. I try to make a fucking point, and you don't let me finish my point, and you interrupt. I can't make a point, because you don't shut the fuck up. Because you keep talking. That's what you've done every fight. Everyone who's trying to bitch, If I can explain one, but you don't let people explain things because you keep just yapping over their fucking show a lie. Well, here's one, but you just fucking will talk over the next sentence and the next sentence.
In fact, it's so easy to call this guy out on lies. I was able to make a supercut just to show you. I put this up on Twitter a while ago, but I'm going to include it in the video to give you a better idea of how much he bullshits and makes things up, because it really plays into what an internet tough guy is. It's all bolster. It's all tough talk. None of it's real. Everything that comes out of them is complete and utter bullshit.
Is Tonka a compulsive liar in your opinion, says, or Derek Vitalis? I'm afraid so.
You want to go to the street?
There's messages people sent me.
I don't give a fuck what you got sent, bitch.
So many people hate you that
like we were supposed to go fight in Jacksonville when we were supposed to fight in Jacksonville.
And I said I would, and then you were like, he's gonna probably shoot me. You fucking pussy.
Who the fuck said that?
Let it be known. A bit of a modified rule set, and it wasn't coming from me. No knees, no elbows, and no leg locks.
Really?
I guess the idea of being put in a fucking wheelchair was a bit too scary for home slide.
But yeah, I just want to confirm if that was a stipulation, because he was like, it wasn't me who asked for that rule. Wink, wink. I'm like, what?
No, there was neither one of you asked for it.
Yeah. All right, man.
It wasn't in the agreement.
Talking to you right now. Who the fuck am I?
Well, they would hear the phone go off if you call where I'm actually at. So
I
call
don't care, Tonka. I don't care.
Go grab your fake news and fucking call me.
I don't have the number. I just saw you.
Go grab your fake news and call me.
I saw your trailer park and your little.
Go grab your fake news and call me.
2 hours later.
Well, where's, I came by there with the van. You don't remember? To put the wheelchair in?
I don't know who you are or what you're talking about.
We met 2 or 3 times. I can't believe you don't remember.
Where did we meet at?
Outside your house. With the
Outside where? What house? Where do I live?
Oh, come on. I don't appreciate it.
Oh, you come on. I don't know you.
You come on. I had the van. You don't remember?
Fuck you, bitch.
Daddy, no!
I want you to take a moment to imagine yourself in the position of Tağᴇ. Here you are, a guy that spent nearly a decade on the internet telling everybody how badly you're going to kick their ass. Onto your show, onto your morning kumite, Tara fucking LaRosa shows up. She's able to facilitate a match between you and some guy on the internet you've been beefing with. everybody is paying attention. People are putting in a ton of money. In fact, VFC, because of Tonka's stunt, supposedly lost upwards of $6,000 in refunded fucking pay-per-view tickets.
Valor, we've checked the seats that were refunded. We calculated they lost about probably around $6,000, maybe even more on the fight.
All these people are showing up to watch this spectacle. And you pussy out. You pussy out in the biggest fucking way possible. You prove once and for all to the internet what an internet tough guy really is. All talk, no walk. There is no way to recover from that. There's no coming back from it. There are one of three possibilities when it comes to Tonka in this situation. He is either a coward, a fraud, or he has AIDS. And that's why he had to send in somebody else's blood work. So whether he is an AIDS-ridden cripple, a fraud, or a coward, he will forever be branded that. This was a pay-per-view event that people within the fighting community pay attention to. Tonka has built his morning Kumite show on respecting the fighting game, understanding the rules, and respecting the history. And he just spit in the face of Tim Loy, Tara LaRosa, every person attending this, and his opponent, Andy Worski. He spent the last 3 months slandering Andy, calling him a pedophile, calling him a retard, saying that he was an idiot, that his show was shit, that his fame had passed, that he was never going to draw an audience or pull in another nickel. Running his mouth constantly, only for the moment of truth to arrive, and he's nowhere in sight. And that is the prime example of what an internet tough guy is. A complete fucking pussy. If you'd like to know more about Tonka and his history on the internet, be sure to check out Toad McKinley's upcoming documentary, in which he'll highlight his entire internet presence from the very early days up until today. And if you'd like to know more about the fight and the events surrounding it, the preamble to it, the fight itself, and the celebration afterwards, be sure to check out Coach Red Pill's fight documentary. Both these videos should be dropping within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I've succeeded at everything I've ever done. There's nothing I've ever done that I wasn't a success at. Not a fucking thing.
I say, whoa, Kimosabi. Dead air. I say, whoa, Kimosabi. Dead air.
It's miserable. It's miserable. It is what it is. I am the one who I did what made it to where this does not happen. It's just miserable. Just miserable.